What's good? It's Woog. We are moving through our 2022 boxing awards, and now we are on Knockout of the Year. I'm looking for just cleanliness of the knockout. I'm not looking for too many TKO victories. I'm not looking for the guy's got the guy against the ropes and is letting his hands go. The ref jumps in and stops it. No, I'm looking for one of those. What was the year where it was kind of difficult to tell between the Povetkin knockout over Dillian White with the uppercut, put him out cold, or the Gervonta Davis uppercut against Leo Santa Cruz. I'm looking for those style knockouts, right? And so some of the contenders this year were Luis Ortiz's knockout over Charles Martin. And I know I'm violating what I just said because that wasn't just one of those put him on the back, lights out knockouts, but just the way that he had Charles Martin out on his feet, looking out like he was looking for a relative in the crowd. That was something else. And so that's one of the contenders. I've got Crawford versus David Evanesian, Deontay Wilder versus Robert Helenius. Now, that was a pretty vicious and just one of those, oh my God, I can't believe there is a man with that type of punching power type of knockout. We've got Tyson Fury stopping Dillian White. And he dropped him. Dillian White did get up, and then they stopped the fight. So, I could get how that's not as clean a knockout as some of them because, again, Dillian White did technically beat the 10 count, even if it was waved off. We got Gervonta Davis beating Rolando Romero via knockout. We've got Kenichi Ogawa getting knocked out by Joe Cordina. That was unexpected because those who thought Cordina could beat Ogawa thought that Cordina would be the sweet science guy, maybe winning rounds, but that if there was going to be a knockout, it was going to be Ogawa knocking out Cordina. Ogawa knocked out Azinga Fuzili to win that belt that he then lost to Cordina. So, yeah, Cordina, vicious knockout of Ogawa. That's one of the contenders here. Mauricio Lara knocking out Emilio Sanchez. Mauricio Lara was on this list last year when he knocked out Josh Warrington. But this year, yeah, Mauricio Lara got hurt really badly in that fight. Go rewatch him versus Emilio Sanchez. But then I think it was at the bell to end the round, I believe, the third round, where Mauricio Lara viciously knocked out Emilio Sanchez. And then we've got Joe Joyce knocking out Joseph Parker. That's another. That was just a destruction. That was one of those that changed the reputation of a fighter where, you already knew that he was very good. He was a juggernaut. He was destructive. But after you see what he did to Joseph Parker, it's like, damn, that guy's a problem. And then we've got Caleb Plant knocking out Anthony Durrell. He was setting him up. He was winning all the rounds, winning just about all the moments of all the rounds. This was a very good all-around performance for Caleb Plant. If he were to have cruised to a decision win, that would have still been a great performance. But he doubled up on a left hook. I think he went low, then he went high. Anthony Durrell kind of dropped his hands after this first of those two left hooks. The second left hook caught him cleanly, put him on his back. That was all she wrote. That's one of the best knockouts of the year. But my number one knockout of the year is Terrence Crawford's two-punch knockout over David Evanesian. Yes, he did start setting him up. Yes, he was firing that uppercut repeatedly. Yes, he was increasingly gaining and seizing control of that fight. But just the way that he sets his shots up, and then he went with the backhand, left hand, lead uppercut, followed by a lead right hook. It was just, both of those punches landed so cleanly. And yes, you could see him setting him up. And you can even hear the commentary suggesting that he's about to deliver something big based on how he was setting it up. But then to deliver on that against somebody as good as David Evanesian, I get it. He's not like a top 5 welterweight in the sport, but he's a very good fighter who has fought some pretty good fighters. And what Terrence Crawford, that closing sequence was just, it was pretty picture perfect, just in terms of how naked Evanesian was for that punch in that moment. And as naked as he was for that uppercut, he was even more vulnerable for that follow-up right lead hand, right hook to close the show. Crawford knocking David Evanesian out is my knockout of the year. Let me know what yours is. Is it Wilder's knockout over Helenius? Is it Caleb Plant's knockout over Anthony Durrell? Please let me know in the comments. Like the video, subscribe to the channel if you are into the fight talk. I'm Woog. Thanks for tuning in.